Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me once again. Today, I've got the son of a cricketing legend as my guest today. He played one test for Pakistan, he played 5 ODIs, and now he's very well known in the world of cricket commentary, the one, the only Bazid Khan. Warm welcome to you, Bazid.
Thanks very much for having me.
Bazid, where else to start than the World Cup? Pakistan are going to win it, aren't they?
Yeah, I hope so. It's quite an open World Cup in terms of look at the teams, and you can almost pick out the semi-finalists or the top five straight away. And if Pakistan play anywhere near what they're capable of, I think that semi-final is almost a certain thing. But saying that, it is a World Cup, and you know, there's always something that happens in a major event. But you look at the lineup and the conditions that are going to be presented to them. Indian conditions aren't foreign to Pakistan at all. And yes, you say that you have a couple of areas where they could improve, but every team's like that. There's no one team which ticks every single box. So considering the conditions and considering the form that, apart from the Asia Cup before that, the form that led into the World Cup for Pakistan, I think they stand a great chance.
Batting is a concern, though, isn't it, Bazid? I mean, you look at the lineup of, say, an India and Australia, especially the top order, England. We just don't seem to have that firepower, or the firepower that we have for Zaman. He's out of form. That must be a concern.
Yeah, Fakhar Zaman is the concern, because Fakhar Zaman's the one player with the strike rate above 90 and who can sort of, on his day, change a game around. Yes, that is an issue. But again, come the World Cup, normally what happens is when the World Cup starts, the average score sort of goes down. Instead of, if you recall that 2019 World Cup as well, everybody expected scores to be near about 350 each time around. But as the World Cup developed, the average score sort of came down, and the winning score was almost down to 250 by the end. And I think with the bowling attacks that you'll see the best 11s playing for every team. So that, I reckon, that average scoring rate will come down. Saying that, you're spot on. We don't have power hitters, but the other thing that we could learn from an Indian batting lineup is that somebody who gets in one-day cricket, slightly different from T20 cricket. Somebody who gets in after 50, he can almost expand his game naturally and go to the end, and he's almost the power hitter at the end. Pakistan tend to box players up, which I find a little concern. So if somebody's, say, Imam bats for 35 overs, you think, no, he now should get out and the power hitter should come in. No, Imam should actually bat through the innings, and he himself can play that role. I think the top order does well. I think the concern is that when Pakistan are faced with chasing, say, a 350 or setting up a 350, then they can falter. But in recent times, in these sort of conditions, I don't think that they've had much of a problem, say, in the region of 280 to 300. If it goes above that, yes, then it's a concern.
Is the middle order a concern? Say, we've got Iftikhar there, we've got Salman Ali Agha. These guys, not much experience of playing in World Cups and major tournaments. You know, if the top order fails, is that a worry?
I think the worry is that Pakistan haven't yet decided. I don't think that they've been able to decide their best playing 11. I think the problem is the middle overs in batting and the middle overs in the bowling. Now we've got players like a Shadab, who I think is a terrific batter against spin. And you underutilize him. If a Shadab comes in at number 8, then basically he's done. There's no use of him coming at the back end or batting so late. even a player like Nawaz, though is capable of finishing an innings, but he's also very good against spin. So you underutilize your batters, and say if a Salman Ali Agha does bat at number 6, I think Shadab could do a similar job. The other thing that the other problem that Pakistan have is the middle overs in bowling. Now, if Shadab bats at number 6, or if Shadab and Nawaz go up the order 1, then you have an option of playing an extra bowler. I think you have the depth in batting. Say if Shaheen's batting at number 9, that is enough depth, in my opinion, and that solves a few issues: the middle overs in batting and also middle overs in bowling. At the moment, what you do is that you play 6 batters, and then the onus is on Shadab to actually bowl those 10 overs. And if any of the fast bowlers have a bad day, then you're in trouble. It's actually not the first power play that Pakistan have a problem. It's not the last power play that Pakistan have a problem. It's the middle overs that Pakistan have a problem in. I think the one player that Pakistan will now definitely be looking at in these conditions where you're bound to play quality spin in the middle overs is Saud Shakil, because he's one of whatever we've seen of him, be it Test match cricket, he's been brilliant against spin. And you want someone to be able to rotate the strike and be able to pick his singles at will, but also have that expansive game. Again, 50 overs is quite a long time. It's not all about power. So that middle order you talk about, it is a concern. But I think Iftikhar, if he gets overs, is a very, very destructive player. I think Saud Shakil, if you get him in at say a number 4, he's very good. But the dilemma is, are Pakistan brave enough to then say, okay, we have these 5 batters, now we can rely on a Shadab, a Nawaz, who are pretty much batters in themselves, and then you've got somebody, one bowler extra that you can play, because as I mentioned, Pakistan very good with the new ball. Middle overs, they sort of settle back or stand back, and then in the final 10, again, they've got the ability, the skill to come back. But what they're lacking is those middle overs. Now that can, I think the obvious answer is that, but have you left it too late to experiment or trust Shadab at number 6?
In terms of the middle overs bowling, as you say, they seem to take a step back and not enforce the advantage sometimes, even if they've taken early wickets. Is that a mindset thing, or is it coming from the captain?
Look, no, it's not mindset. So, say you look at Shadab, who's your main leg spinner. He plays predominantly white ball cricket. He plays a lot of T20 cricket, and economy rates matter. Economy rates really matter in those games. Now, once you've got a side, say in the power play, you've got them 2 down, 3 down, you want somebody to come in the middle overs and actually get you wickets. And that previous mindset of getting wickets in the middle overs is so important, because if you don't get wickets, then it doesn't matter if you've got wickets on front, because if they build in that middle period, then everybody's got some power hitters or got some expansive players who catch up or not catch up, but get you to a decent total. Now, with Shadab, I think he because of T20 cricket, he bowls a little defensively. He needs a spinner with him who's willing to, say like Adil Rashid, who's willing to get hit over the top or get smashed, but also pick up wickets, sort of play that sort of risk and reward games. But the spinner that he bowls with is with Nawaz. Nawaz also is in that way a very economical spinner, but not the spinner you would say, okay, get me a wicket. he will only get you wickets when the ball is turning or when the pitch is doing something. So both the spinners, if you look at them overall in their careers, especially in white ball cricket, they're quite defensive. They want to keep the economy rate down, which in a way in T20 cricket is the absolute need of the hour. But I think one day cricket, we tend to sort of not differentiate those two formats. The formats are quite different. So that is a concern. You look at the other spinners that are doing well, attacking spinners, say like Kuldeep, who attacks you, then maybe a Shamsi, who will, on a bad day, will go for runs, but he will get you wickets in the middle overs. Even in Adil Rashid, you look at his economy rate, it's normally above 6, but they bank on him to get you wickets. And then you go back to the previous World Cup, you got a bowler like Plunkett who would go for runs, but he was the one who'd get you wickets in the middle overs. Now, if you have two spinners who are more concerned or naturally inclined to keeping the runs down and not be sort of thinking about maybe if I can flight this one up outside off stump, or it's fine if I get hit for a 6, I have a chance of getting a wicket, then you're in a sort of it doesn't work as well in ODI cricket. India have say if a Jadeja does play, Jadeja is more of a defensive spinner. You'll have Kuldeep who'll try and get you wickets. If he's playing with Ashwin will try and get you wickets, and he'll bowl slightly differently, slightly slower, and all that. So I won't blame the mindset. I'll just say that because of the fact that they've predominantly, especially Shadab, has predominantly played a lot of white ball cricket, a lot of T20 cricket. So he's naturally inclined to, okay, I'll keep the economy rate down. So yes, so the problem is that you can play one of those spinners, but you can't play two in tandem in one-day cricket, because if you don't get wickets in the middle period, if you don't get wickets throughout the innings, these batters nowadays are so good at turning it on that you'll suffer.
India the team to beat at this World Cup?
Yeah, at the moment, yes. At the moment, you look at that India side and you say, yes, all boxes tick, but they depend a lot on Hardik Pandya. If Hardik Pandya doesn't bowl, then they're all that the team balance sort of goes. If he's out of form, the balance of their side is so dependent on him with the way that they play ODI cricket. But saying all that, I think with the players that they have, with the bowling depth in fast bowling, and also the spinners that they have, and in their own backyard, I think they're the team to beat. But remember, so many times we say India the team to beat, but in the recent times in ICC trophies, India haven't been able to get through that knockout stage. I think that's sort of playing on their mind now, because it's been a while since they've won. But yeah, you look at the team on paper and you look at the conditions and what they have, definitely, probably they'll be the favorites.
Who are your 4 semi-finalists, Bazid?
I'll go with India, Pakistan. You want to say New Zealand, but New Zealand always surprise you. But I think it'll be India, Pakistan, Australia, and England.
And finally, for Pakistan to win this tournament, Bazid, you talked about bravery. What's going to be the key? Is it going to be Babar's runs? I mean, it's going to be a bit of everything. But what are the key factors for Pakistan to successfully have a great World Cup and win the tournament?
I think the form of Shadab will be pretty vital. Also, I think you'll have to maybe tweak the side a little. Are you willing to tweak the side? Are you willing to play sort of more dynamic cricket, in the sense that Pakistan have become world number one side in playing cricket their own way, but maybe because it's a World Cup and because everybody now knows that the middle overs are a problem, will you be able to solve that? And I think Iftikhar's form and Shadab's form will be vital. I think Babar will get runs. Babar is such a great player that he will get runs, and I don't think that you'll have a huge issue with that top order. But to actually get you over the line or in those crunch games, you want people sort of to stand up, and you will rely on those middle overs, which I keep referring to like a broken record. But Shadab's form has to be vital, and I was slightly disappointed that they didn't get Ibrar into the 15, because he would have added something to that side. But yeah, I think Iftikhar and Shadab, if Iftikhar and Shadab have a good tournament, I think Pakistan will be very well served.
And finally, Babar's captaincy as well, that's been under scrutiny, especially in the ODI format. To win a World Cup, you need a strong leader. You need somebody who will take risks as a captain. Has Babar got that in him?
I think he's developing as a captain. I don't think he's the best captain going around, but he's, with the confidence that he has, he's developing. And the best thing is that everybody is sort of looks up to him and accepts that he is their leader. You need a lot of luck as well. You need luck to go your way. Very few World Cups are won without luck. So you need that rub of green. And if Pakistan get on a roll, as we know, they're a side that can get better and better. Even in that previous World Cup, we apart from that first game, as that World Cup went on, till Pakistan's side was actually becoming better as it went through the World Cup. I think we have to be smart in a way that we saw in that previous World Cup. Net run rate, you have to be on the money straight away. First game, second game, you cannot sit back. You cannot sort of think, okay, we won this game, we'll just make sure that we win it. You want to get ahead of the curve, because that I was thinking the other day that one game against West Indies, and we were never able to catch up to that. So once you have the opportunity to finish a game off, or the opportunity to do it quickly, I think even very early in the tournament, you have to think about that as well, that eventuality, because you don't want to be in that situation again. I think Babar will need luck. Also, I think they'll need to be able to be flexible enough in terms of team selection. And I don't think that Pakistan is any less than any other country in those conditions. I think they have maybe a better chance than say in Australia or in England, because these conditions are sort of very, very near what they've played all their life at home. So I think, he will need to stand up as a leader. Yes, that is for sure. But I think the other part is, as the team management also needs to be aware of quite a few factors, and then the problems that you've had, you cannot then go into a game thinking, no, they'll take care of the problems themselves. You have to make sure that you have the right personnel to overcome those problems. And in that, I think they'll be aware. I'm sure they will be aware about the problems in the middle overs. And if Pakistan overcome that, then I don't think they'll have a lot of problem. But as always, we say with Pakistan, they'll need a bit of luck, and And once Pakistan gets luck in a close game, I think they'll be able to ride the curve.
Thank you very much, Bazid, for your time. Some fantastic points there. And let's hope that in a few weeks' time, we're all celebrating a World Cup victory for Pakistan.
Thank you very much.